Well, we're here. Week 12 Power Rankings is here. We've made it all the way to Week 12. It's crazy how fast the season has gone, but we're here. So let's get into it. Number 10, I've got the LA Chargers. They didn't quite drop out of the top 10. They were in the 6th last week. So yeah, they didn't quite drop out, but they had just a bad game against the Jaguars. I was not expecting the Jaguars. The Jaguars are a weird team. I'm going to talk about the Jaguars here for a minute. Because I legitimately thought that they're done. They're all over. They're just losing now. Same with the Falcons. They're just losing. They're not going to keep. They're going to keep losing unless they're playing like a team that's like worse. They're obviously going to beat the really bad teams like the Raiders, but I was not expecting this at all with the Jaguars. So honestly, good job, Jacksonville. The Chargers, bad O-line. That's what happened. Continued to pressure Herbert till they got to him. Yeah, I mean, is the Chargers season over? No, but they're lucky that Chiefs lost, and we'll get into the Chiefs game a little bit later, but just bad game by the Chargers. They only dropped 4 spots, so we'll see, but yeah, just bad game. Number 9, I've got the 49ers. The 49ers have managed to pop their way back into the top 10. They did it. They're doing well now. They're just on the track. They got Purdy. Everyone's getting healthier. Can this 49ers team go down and make a playoff run? No. They won't even win their division. But they will still play well enough to probably make the playoffs this year. With the 49ers winning, the Lions have now been kicked out of the playoffs with the 49ers winning this game against the Cardinals. So, good job, San Francisco. Purdy's coming back. You got to play the Panthers on Monday Night Football. That should be a fun game. We'll get into that tomorrow. But, yeah, good job, 49ers. You're back in the top 10. Now it's just a matter of can they stay in the top 10. Because last time they were in the top 10, they fell immediately out after losing to the, I think it was the Jaguars, but yeah. Number 8, the Bears. The Bears are in the top 10. Not something I thought I was going to say at all this season. But the Bears, they're in the power rankings in the top 10. They move up a few spots. Last week I had them at 11. So they move up 3. For a few weeks they've been sniffing the top 10, but I haven't gotten confident enough to put them in. I do see it coming crashing down for the Bears, though. We'll get into the Bears game tomorrow with the Steelers. We'll get into that game, but I do see it coming crashing down. I do. I'm just saying this right now. If it doesn't, it doesn't. They're going to keep going up, but I see the Bears crashing down. I think they can make the playoffs, but it's going to be, can they, I don't think they're going to maintain the number 1 spot in their division, but they're winning the division, and that North is that could be anyone. Even the Vikings, they still have a shot, I think, at winning the division, but that's if everyone else ahead of them just completely starts losing, so we'll see what happens with that, but Bears, right now, you're winning the division and you're in the top 10. So good job. But I don't see this lasting a little bit. I don't see this lasting into the playoffs, into winning your division. Number 7, the Lions. Yep, that's right. And we'll talk about the Eagles a little bit later in this video, but the Lions. Green Bay discovered the Eagles defense 2 weeks ago. This this Sunday, now the Lions have discovered the Eagles' defense. They haven't even scored. They have not been able to score double digits. And both of these offenses are pretty good. Alright, Packers, and I even had the Lions beating the Eagles in this game. I thought they would. That defense is much better, and we'll get into the Eagles a little bit later. But the Lions, they're almost, it didn't work. 0 for 5. I mean, eventually when you just get the hint and just punt or take the points. Because some of those going for it, they were in field goal range. This game would have gotten a little bit closer than it actually was if they kicked some of those field goals. Like it was like 4th and goal. Yeah, they were at the goal line. They're at like the 3, but the defense has been insane all game. So just kick the points. The Eagles' offense our offense wasn't doing anything either. So, I mean, I don't know. This is not sustainable the way Dan Campbell operates. It's not going to be. We saw it. It wasn't sustainable last year. It was sustainable all the way up until when it really mattered, which was the playoffs. That's it. The playoffs got to them. They got the 1 seed, 15-2, and, well, they still didn't win a playoff game. It's getting to them earlier on this season. I don't know. Going for it on 4th down like he does, it has worked, but you got to understand who you're dealing with when it works. If it works, you're probably going up against a bad defense. It didn't work at all, like ever, this game. And I would think that probably after about maybe the 3rd attempt, like for the 4th and 5th attempt, he would just punt or kick a field goal. Nope. But, well, that's what happens when you think you're better than you're not. You're not as good as you thought. I'm not saying the Lions aren't good. They are. But I don't think people are saying, "Oh, they're that good." No, the Eagles' defense is that good. But we'll get into the Eagles a little bit later. I'm getting off track. Anyway, number 6, I got the Bills in a shootout with the Buccaneers, which I thought that probably is going to be what happens. Tampa Bay could have won that game, but they didn't. The Bills clutched up and got a stop and ended up making it a double-digit lead. So, good job, Buffalo. You move up 2 spots. They were at 8 last week. They're now at 6 this week. Yeah. Good job, Buffalo. You're getting there. Are you good enough? No. They're not going to be good enough. I don't think this is going to be... The way they're playing, especially the defense, it's not going to work in the playoffs. This is the defense season. This is the year of the defense. If you don't have a defense, you're not going to win game. You're not going to make the Super Bowl, in my opinion. Yeah, that's my prediction. I'm predicting that the teams who make probably even the AFC and NFC title game are going to have a defense. Not a defense that allows 30 points a game. Even to the good teams. You just can't do it, especially when there's defenses that are much better than that. The Eagles, the Broncos, the Seahawks, the Rams, the Patriots, or even like everyone else. And we'll get into all these teams in a minute. But there's a reason I have these teams higher than the Bills. I think they have more of a likelihood of making the Super Bowl than the Bills. The offense is great. The defense is not. And if you can shut down the run game with Buffalo, it's pretty much over for Buffalo. So, Buffalo's not as good as they were last season. This is not looking too good, especially, like, they will probably make the divisional round this year. They will probably win a playoff game. They won't get the 1 seed, but they'll probably win a playoff game. They're probably not even going to win their division, honestly. They'll win a playoff game. They'll probably play the 4 seed, who will probably be the Ravens or Steelers. They will probably beat them. And then they lose to either the Broncos, Patriots, or Colts. They do. I think that's going to be Buffalo's season. They're not even going to make the AFC Championship game. So, yeah. But Bills, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll impress me. But I don't think so. Number 5, I got the Seahawks. The Seahawks dropping from 1 to 5. And I know they were number 1 last week, and now they're not. They're not number 1, but they had an opportunity to win that game. Despite all the turnovers that Sam Darnold threw and made. The Seahawks defense kept them in the game, and the offense was able to do enough to put them in a position to make a game-winning field goal. It didn't happen because of how far it was. Jason Myers is not that great of a kicker. He's not going to make a 61-yarder. Apparently he has in the past, but not this game. He didn't even get, even if it was straight, it still would have dropped. It still would have been too low. He was not going to make that kick. So that just didn't work for Seattle. But the offense still did enough to get them into field goal range, or what they were thinking was field goal range. It really isn't. Maybe he's regressed, who knows. Either way, they still could have won that game. And if Sam Darnold doesn't if just one of those turnovers, one of those interceptions he threw doesn't get converts that into a touchdown for Seattle, this game's over. Seattle wins. And a lot of those interceptions were scoring drives for the Rams. Why? Because of where they were on the field. The Seahawks defense, when the Rams had to get the ball, the Seahawks defense was able to stop them. However, if the Rams got the ball at, say, like the 15-yard line of Seattle, then yeah, that's not gonna work. Like, you don't have the best of chances, because the Rams' offense is still a good offense. And I still think Seattle's offense is a good offense. It's just this game was a defense game. And it showed. Big time. Especially with the Rams making 4 turnovers. I don't remember if Seattle got a turnover, but the Seahawks defense did enough to keep them in the game, and the offense did enough to get them into field goal range. It was up to the special teams at that point. Seattle should have won. I'm just saying it. Seattle should have won this game. I think next time Seattle plays LA, they will win. I think if they play in the playoffs, I think Seattle has a very good shot of winning. I also think the Rams have a very good shot of winning. But, anyway. Number 4, the Broncos. Is the dynasty over? Maybe. Another defense game. And I knew it. I did. I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, this Broncos defense, the way the Chiefs play, does not stand a chance. They did not. They scored 1 touchdown. they pretty much threw. Mahomes ended up overthrowing Xavier Worthy like 3 times that drive. The defense was locking down Kelsey. Kelsey was not able to make it. Was not really able to make much of it. He was able to make catches, and I think he even made a touchdown. But when it mattered, he wasn't able to catch the ball. They locked him down, and that's what you have to do with the Chiefs. That's what you have to do. You have to lock down Mahomes, and you have to lock down Kelsey. Because this is, and everyone knows it, what Mahomes likes to do is he likes to scramble and wait until someone's open, and right before he's about to cross the line of scrimmage, especially on short yardage first downs, he just floats the ball up to Kelsey, and he usually catches it. Like 90% of the time, that's what happens. Or Mahomes just takes off. That's usually when it's like a 3rd and 15, or like if nothing's opening up. That's what you have to do. If you're a defense, that's what you have to do. You have to shut down Kelsey, and you have to shut down Mahomes' running ability, scrambling ability. You can't let them. If you can't stop them from doing that, then you will lose. The Broncos, when it mattered, stopped them from doing that. Denver won. Last team who had the ball. There's a reason. This is one of those cases where last team with the ball wins. And the way it was looking, it should have been Kansas City. However, Kansas City was not able to do anything. 3-and-out immediately. Broncos go down the field and score and get a game-winning field goal. That's not blocked. Hey, the offense did enough in the last game. Again, it was just down to special teams. And there was absolutely no blocking last year. And that's why Denver should have swept Kansas City last year, because they did win the next game. They blew them out. Granted, did the Chiefs really play? No. But if Denver wins that game, wins both games, they sweep. Do I think Denver's going to sweep this year? Absolutely. I think they will. Do I think the dynasty's over for Kansas City? Yes. I think it's over. I think Mahomes probably later on this year, not later on this year, but probably after next season, if this continues to happen, I think he's getting traded. I think he's going to ask to get traded. And I think Kelsey will retire. And that will officially be the end of the dynasty. However, we thought that about the Patriots. Look where we are 5 years later. But we'll get to the Patriots later. Number 3. I've got Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah. Why did I put the Eagles ahead of Denver even though Denver beat us? Denver did not actually play our defense. This is a new defense. So I think if Philadelphia plays Denver anymore this season, we win. That's what I think. I think anyone behind the Eagles, the Rams and the Patriots, they're 1 and 2. So I think those are the 2 teams that may stand a chance. But even then, New England. Do I think New England stand? Not really. LA? Maybe. But LA tried already. And that was before our defense was as good as they are. Our defense was still good back when we played the Rams in Week 3. But they were not this level good, like keeping great offenses, holding them only to 7 and 9 points. I also can see us completely shutting out the Cowboys next week. This next week. I can. But we'll get into that later. We'll get into that tomorrow. The Eagles will repeat. We will. We're going to. It's going to happen. I'm sorry, but the way the league is looking right now, we're going to repeat. Like I said, the two teams that may stand a chance, Patriots and Rams. And then maybe Denver. I think those three teams are the closest teams to beating us. They will not. They may. I might be wrong. But right now, I don't think they will. I don't think anyone's beating us. I think we're going perfect. I think we're going 15-2, and we're winning the Super Bowl. That's what I think. Am I a little bit biased? Not really. This isn't about bias for me. This is about what I've seen. I don't see any offense really being able to shut down our defense. Because our defense wrecks every offense that we play against. And that's the problem. That's what every team has. And that is why I don't think we're going to lose to a lot of these teams, pretty much all these teams we have left in our schedule. I definitely don't think the Bills can beat us. The Chargers? With a bad O-line? Really? The Bears? I'm not that great on the Bears. The only reason why the Bears are number 8 is because they're actually winning the division right now. That's really the only reason why they're number 8. I do not think they're all that either. I think we will easily expose Caleb Williams. I think we'll expose Dak Prescott. I think we'll expose Josh Allen. I think we can expose everyone we play this season. Everyone left on our schedule. And anyone they throw at us in the playoffs. Why? Because of our defense. Yes. The offense. Let's talk about the offense now. The offense is not the best. But pretty much no offense is the best when they're playing against a really good defense. This season, that's how it's looked. So, it's going to continue to look that way. However, if our offense breaks free and breaks out, and our offense and defense is playing well as a team, then it's over. It's over for everyone, because that's the one thing these teams have going for them. The problem, the defense is going to be a game wrecker. The plus, our offense can be a liability. We figured it out. We figured our offense out, which I think we will, because it's not that difficult. I mean, you really cleaning up the false start, cleaning up the penalties on O-line. That's a big thing. The injuries, yes. Is our O-line getting hurt? Yes. We'll see how bad some of these injuries are. It really is going to depend. Jalen Hurts. That's a problem. Not as bad as people think. His problem isn't as bad. His problem is throwing the ball and waiting too long in the pocket. That's his problem. That's not what you want to see out of your quarterback. However, if there's a gap open, he can take it. He will take it. If there's a gap, if he is broken free from the pocket and there's a hole, he's running, and that hole is clear and he's getting a first down. He is getting the first down every time. So no, I don't think anyone can stop us. I really don't. And I think the more another person we need to unlock on our offense, Bigsby. Bigsby is getting better rushes than Saquon right now. I think we need to play him a lot more than we are. I do. And I think we can do a lot better. I think we will do a lot better if we play him over Saquon. Instead of splitting 50-50 carries, they split like 60-40. or like 70-30. He's the running back. He's the running back most of the time. I think we play a lot better. And then that will free up our wide receivers. That will throw up AJ. That will open up AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. That will open them up. And then Jalen Hurts will be able to throw the ball a lot better. We saw what happened. We saw in the Super Bowl what happened when the Chiefs only focused on Saquon. We just torched them through the air. We could continue to do that. Is Saquon playing like he did last season? No. But I think Bigsby can if we give him a chance. That's what I think. I think we should start Bigsby over Saquon. I do. Anyway, number 2, I got the Rams. The Rams, very tight game. Like I said, Seattle, for all intents and purposes, should have won that game. Didn't. But Rams, they are right now holding on to the division, but I also don't think this is going to last because of how good Seattle actually is. So, LA, they're number 2 right now because they beat Seattle, but they're not going to stay. As soon as they lose again, they're not going to stay. They got a game they should beat in the Buccaneers. They should beat the Buccaneers, but the Rams, if they lose to the Rams and Seattle wins, I mean, this is, again, neck-and-neck division. And then the 49ers may get back into the mix, who knows. Number 1, the Patriots. Yep, I have the Patriots number 1, that's right. Why? Because they were number 2 last week. The Patriots won in a good game with the Jets. They're playing the Bengals without Jamar Chase because of his suspension. They should win that game, but we'll talk about that on Monday. Tomorrow on Wednesday. Patriots are number 1 simply because they were number 2 last week and they won. They deserve to be number 1. It looks like, is the dynasty back? Maybe. I really don't know if the dynasty's back. It really is going to determine how can they sustain this level of play for the next 5 to 10 years. Then probably after 5 years, then we can maybe say the dynasty's back. Not one good season. Because I remember the Patriots had one good season with Mac Jones. And, oh, it looks like they're back. Flopped after that. So, I think we need to tone down saying, okay, the dynasty's not back yet. Give it a few more seasons to see if it actually is back. Not one season. Because even I made the mistake in 2021 of thinking, well, Patriots are just going to stay good. Nope. They had one bad year. And then, or more or less mediocre year. Not bad year. It wasn't like they had like 3 or 4 wins. But they had like 7, 8 wins. Then 2021, here comes Mac Jones. I'm thinking, yep, they're back. After that, nope. So, I'm putting them at number 1 right now because they look like the best team in the league right now. But we will see how they play, how they continue really through the next 5 years. But anyway, those are my kind of long-winded power ranking. That's Week 12 power rankings. The full list will be in a community tab. The full 1 through 32 will be in a community tab. I mean, if I was to go 1 through 32, we'd be here all day. But so yeah, make sure you guys like and subscribe. I have 2 other channels, Southwest Gamer and Legos Model. Southwest Gamer, I do gaming. That's like sport gaming videos, so like Retro Bowl, Madden, Hoopland, Retro Bowl College, games like that. And then Legos Models, I do Legos. I'm going to be posting on Southwest Gamer. It should come out either today or tomorrow. That should be when the video comes out. It's going to be kind of a longer one, but yeah, it's going to, I'm trying to, so you'll see it in probably either late tonight or tomorrow, like afternoon or maybe morning, who knows. But yeah, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.